Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So years ago when I was hanging out at the tattoo shop, I still go there, but they've since moved. But their first location, I had a friend that I no longer speak to who used to go to Blockbuster every week and rent movies, just random movies. And he would tell me about them. And one of the movies he mentioned was Bug. Bug is one of my favorite, I guess it would be a comedy, but it's sort of hard to explain. I guess I would say comedy or romantic comedy maybe. And what it is, it has Jamie Kennedy's probably the most famous in the film, and there are going to be people you see in this that you'll recognize from other things that you don't know their names. But Jamie Kennedy's great in this, and it's pretty much how like the butterfly effect to a degree, where one thing happens and then it kind of triggers other things. So the beginning of the movie starts out with a bug getting stepped on, and that's why it's called Bug. And other things start happening. One person intervenes from this kid going to step on a bug or whatnot. Then that person going to intervene gets a ticket. The girl writing the ticket, something happens to her. It just keeps happening, and they're all tied together, unbeknownst to them. It has some really funny elements, some excellent quotes that Beth and I say to each other. There's this one. There's like little segments, and each segment is tied into one another in some way. One thing has a guy who owns it's a donut shop and a Chinese food restaurant, and he has a worker who is trying to win tickets on the radio. So he grabs the phone to call in the radio station to try and win these tickets, but in turn doesn't fully cook the Chinese food well enough. So the boss comes over and thinks it's done and puts it into a container, sells it, and that person gets um, food poisoning. So there's like all these little things that kind of, one thing leads to the next. One of the quotes that Beth and I say is, well, why don't you, if you're not happy, why don't you go marry that tennis pro Wayne? And there's this couple in the movie who I guess see this documentary or something where this kid is very ill and he's in a bubble and he can't leave the bubble because he'll get sick. Actually, it's not a documentary. It's a play they're watching, I think. And the husband's like on edge all the time, and he's like, "Well, what would you do if I lived in a bubble?" And she's like, "Oh, I'd still love you. I'd still make you dinner, and I'd take care of you, and this and that, and I'd visit you every day at the hospital." And he's like, "Yeah, sure you would. Eventually, you need physical intimacy, and you go out and I don't know, marry a tennis pro named Wayne." And he like flips out, and the wife starts getting pissed off now, and then they're arguing. It's very funny. Again, lots of the guy who is that character is the clown from American Horror Story, which was kind of the only reason I wanted to watch the newer episodes of American Horror Story. I still haven't, but that's a whole other topic. But like I said, you'll notice people in it that you go, oh, I know that guy from something, but you don't know their names. There's people, trying to date one another. There's relationships breaking up. There's relationships getting back together. Um, I guess it pretty much has to do with relationships, but also the things around them that just all tie in without people knowing. And it's just fun, and it's really funny. Um, the vibe sort of has like a something kind of like a Danny Deck chair sort of vibe, which is one of my other favorite romantic comedies. But I wouldn't say it's strictly a romantic comedy. I think there's sort of something in there for everyone, but you have to be in the mood for a lighthearted movie with some comedy in it. Um, Again, people really haven't heard of this one. Some people, when I say Bug, they go over to the horror movie called Bug. That's not it. Don't watch that one. Check this out. This movie is really great. I can't say enough good things about it. I think it's great for, a date night or even if you're alone and you want something upbeat. High, high marks for Bug. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.